Hello and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. How are you doing today? Hope you're okay wherever you're watching from, whenever you're watching from. This is a timeless reading. And what that means is that wherever you've I'm absolutely exhausted because I've just walked up the stairs. That's fitness for you. Timeless reading means that wherever you watch it, whenever you watch it, then the message has been delivered to you. So you could be nudged in the direction to receive this message. And that's my cat Milas in the background. So a little bit of an astrology overview this morning. So today we've got the Sun in Taurus squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So what that means is it creates a little bit of cosmic friction. And it's about saying goodbye to old versions of yourself in order to facilitate the change that's needed. So it's a day that talks about transformation and talking about needing to get rid of old versions and to sort of revisit things that you've done and to, decide if you could have done them better, paying some reparations, even like sort of, approaching people and admitting that you'd got something wrong and things like that. So it's a day of putting right wrongs, making changes in order to transform. I think my cat has left the building. Right, so that's your astrology overview for this morning. I'm going to do a quick collective reading here. All right, so we've got good cards for a collective reading. So this could apply to you. It could apply to a broader group of people. So we've got a new opportunity coming your way. We've got the hand coming through the clouds of confusion to offer you a new path. And this is often because it's pentacles. It's often to do with finances, work, opportunities, things that keep us secure, things that we need to do because we haven't all just won the lottery. So it's all right being this wonderful sort of monk type person who gives away all their belongings and lives happily ever after. It's like, it's not realistic, sadly. And we all need these things, the cars, the jobs, the money, the houses, in order for us to live our lives in the modern world. So this looks like a new opportunity or a new path being presented to you, which is going to lead to you being in a far more positive position security wise. So that's money or work wise or like possessions, material wise. Now, because this is coming out with the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Wands is a card of speed, and you'll see that because those ones are like, and that means that it's coming in quickly. So this opportunity is arriving, and it looks like it's arriving in the next 24 hours. And the final card of this little 3 set here is the 7 of Pentacles, which is about, if you have a look, this man is overviewing his harvest and giving himself a pat on the back to say, look at this, I've put so much work in. It's time for me to reap the rewards of this harvest. And it's a really good harvest as well. So these 3 cards together mean that this new opportunity is being handed to you, or this new path will open up to you. It's going to open up pretty quickly and it's going to be really lucrative. So watch out for that today. It looks like it's going to turn things around for you from a financial point of view, or it looks like it has the potential to. It takes a little bit of, when you have an ace, it is the beginning of something. So it's not something fully formed that's being given to you. It's something that might be proposed to you, or a plan that's being given to you, potentially a new idea about something. So it's up to you to take it from planning to harvest. But you've got this element of speed in the mix as well. So it looks like it's coming in pretty quickly, and it's one of those like act quickly in order to reap the full harvest. Okay, so that's a really good collective reading. I love that. I'm just going to give these cards a good shuffle here, and we shall go on to do the 12 card reading. Morning, Helena. How are you doing? So, 12 card reading, you can either do the traditional, morning, Mandy, you can either do the traditional pick a card type of thing. So you could pick a number between 1 and 12, then you could focus on what issue or what question that you had, or perhaps just an open mind about, one of the best questions I think that you can ask when you use tarot or any other divination tool really is, what do I most need to know at the moment? Because that gives the cards like an open-ended question, but it also doesn't block out other things, because sometimes we're like, yeah, well, I want to know about this situation, but there could be something far more important that we need to know, which is playing heavily in the atmosphere around us, which would be far more beneficial to know. So I like those kind of questions. But again, you can ask specific questions if you want. So you can either choose a number between 1 and 12 and ask your specific question, or just take what you like from the reading, because all the cards are relevant. They all have a relevant message for you. And it could well be that, I mean, I'm starting to see, hi Aussie Mel, how are you doing? I'm starting to see that, because I've been doing this for a while now, a couple of months, I think I've been on this now. And it feels like the 12 card reading so often is connected. The cards are connected to each other. And you notice that with patterns. It's all about recognizing patterns in tarot. And I've noticed more and more that those 12 cards seem to be not acting as singular entities. They're not acting unconnected. They are connected. So it feels like perhaps we should be looking at them all together. So if you want to take something from the whole lot, then do that. And I shall stop leathering on, because we're on, how long have I been on? 6 minutes, and I still haven't started the 12 card reading. Great. I guess it's better to have too much to say than not enough. But mind you, it would be nice to have more relevant things to say, and things of meaning, rather than just mindless leather. Right, so cards are out here. We're going to start with number 7. Number 7, you have Temperance. Temperance invites the application of moderation. So Temperance is a card that talks about being able to balance things. Have you been putting too much energy into one particular thing, or have you been putting too much energy into one thing and not enough into another? Have you been overindulging? Have you been hitting the bottle? Have you been I mean, we can be addicted to all sorts of things, isn't it? It doesn't have to be drink or drugs or sex or gambling. Or it can just be, you get really like, I get channel minded about something, like I'm putting lots and lots of energy into one particular thing, but neglecting other areas of life. And I can get a bit like that with tarot, to be honest. So perhaps this card for me would mean you've got another life as well, and you've got money to earn. So put down the cards for a while. But I'm also stubborn, so I'd probably say no. But this is this is a card that is really talking about enabling you to manage your life better. It's a question. It asks the question, where's the imbalance in your life? And then it asks you to provide the answer, i.e., what can I do in order to bring balance and moderation to my life? The angel on the Temperance card, excuse me, is pouring water from one cup to the other. And that is sort of indicative of the emotional balance that moderation achieves. And she has 1 foot in water, emotions, 1 foot on land, grounded in earth. So it's achieving that balance, enables that balance between being grounded and being flighty and imaginative, because you need all the elements, your earth, your air, your fire, your water. Ideally, in all of us, we'd have a full balance. So we'd have our air for intellect, our fire for enthusiasm, our earth for practicality, for being grounded, and what was the one I missed? The water for emotions. So ideally, we'd have a balance of all that, but most of us are really, really one way, and we're missing an element or something like that. So Temperance is about trying to balance those elements out. So if you are somebody who normally feels a bit flighty or acts without thinking, perhaps try to bring earth elements around you. A good way to increase earth energy is to do things like grounding. And I know it's really like obvious, but actually to make like the angel of Temperance, take off your shoes and tread on the ground, because it grounds the was it the negative or positive ions in your body or something? It's a physiologically proven thing, and it does change how your body works, and it feels great, and it increases your connection with the earth and makes you feel less like sort of head in the clouds. Like from my point of view, sorry to make it a me train again here, but just as an example, for example, my astrology chart, I have all air and not anything to do with water. Which means I'm a bit flighty and flip from one thing to the other and need to be a bit deeper, and sort of need to connect with my emotions more. So to do that, you know, I could actually spend time near water and do some things that really take emotional input, like, you know, that investigate. I'm very like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about my feelings. So that's the manifestation of that lack of the element. So I digress. Temperance, this card today is asking you to find that balance, to identify what elements you're missing, where you could focus more to improve the moderation in your life. Number 6. Number 6, you have the Emperor. So the Emperor is a card that's saying today you are in a position where you have power, you're stable. It feels like you're able to manifest. It feels like you're able to achieve what you have decided to. It's like you get this card where you've had to be strong, right? You've had to be powerful. You've had to be quite authoritarian in some respects, but it's working. All right. So keep going down that track. And it means that you have conviction of your words. You are somebody who is not messing around. You know what you want and you're going to get it. The Emperor, I like to say, is the most powerful guy in the pack, and that's because he has so much power over, like a bit like the magician, he has so much power over the elements and the resources of the rest of the deck of cards, and he also brings with him fertility and opportunity. So he's a card that comes up when you might have been struggling to find a way forward. All of a sudden, Emperor power hits you and you're like, you can suddenly take charge. He's also ruled by the planet Mars, which means that if you have been in a situation of confrontation, or if somebody's been bullying you, then Mars on your side means it's time for you to kick back, and you'll be able to do that quite easily because you'll be feeling slightly more feisty. Now, it's not like, you know, this isn't an abusive power situation. It's not somebody who's ratty or bad tempered. The Emperor is that good application of power, being really sure about yourself, being able to achieve things by being the father figure, nurturing, but forceful. You know, knowing your own mind. So if this is you today, if you feel drawn to this card, then accept that Emperor energy into you and remember that you are sovereign over your life and your choices. So be like the Emperor and make things happen, especially if you've been putting them off, because the Emperor sometimes turns up when it's like to give you a bit of a kick in the butt. It's like, okay, you need to move on and make this decision now. Right, number 5. Number 5. Right next to the Emperor, we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is a man of intense intellect, justice, knowledge, wisdom, thinking. He's a thinker. He's also somebody who's very powerful, and he's ruthless as well. So with this being a court card, and it's a 1-card reading, remember, so I would be lying and talking BS if I told you I knew whether this was you or somebody that you are going to encounter today. However it is, the energy is around you of this strong intellectual thinking man. So is this you employing your masculine energy? And I don't mind if you're a woman, you have masculine energy as much as you have feminine. And your masculine energy is that logical thought processes, getting things through, but a bit ruthless. The King of Swords can be quite cutting, quite sarcastic almost. So he has a little bit of a dark side. If he's up this way, he can be a real problem. But when he's up this way, he's more that kind of man who can get things done, but he's quite stern. Okay, this guy is somebody that you'd be a little bit scared of at work, or just somebody that you'd be wary of. So if this is you, Enjoy that power. Don't abuse that power, remember. Don't become the inverted King of Swords and, you wield that sword for bullying almost. But if this is you, enjoy the power of getting things done. Or if this is somebody that you come across, this could be the King of Swords is often somebody in charge, a governor, a manager, a CEO, a lawyer, a judge, somebody who's in charge of somebody who can, change somebody's life just by their decision. They're in a real position of power. So if this is somebody you come across, great news is this is a positively aspected card. So you should expect to receive fair treatment from them and just treatment, so justice. But be wary, always be wary of the King of Swords, because I think he's very, very powerful, but also quite ruthless. Like, I guess a lot of rulers are like that, aren't they? Because they couldn't all just be wearing their heart on their sleeves and, just being ruled by emotions, because difficult decisions wouldn't be made. But yeah, just be wary of him. Use that power, but don't get trampled. Number 8. Number 8, you've got the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is often good news coming in about an opportunity, and it's also somebody who's inspiring as well. So when it's a pages can be messages, and when it's wands are fire, wands are creativity, wands are optimism, curiosity. So this is often news of a new venture or a new path to take moving in. But the page could also be an actual person, because it's a court card, can also be an actual person moving into your life who's a younger person or somebody with a youthful what do you call it, countenance, like a youthful spirit, a youthful way of thinking, a youthful way of approaching ideas. And they can also be somebody that's inspiring. So, when you're stuck in a way of trying to think of a way out of a situation or how to do something, the Page of Wands can also come like a bolt from the blue. A new way of doing something, that inspiration, that eureka moment. It's something that can change things and turn things on their head with an idea of how to do something differently. So whichever way we look at this, number 8, this is a great card. So you've either got news of an opportunity, an inspiring piece of news coming your way, a message. So it could be a phone call, a text message, a contact on social media, or a letter. Do we still send letters? Not very often. But, just any sort of message, that information arriving on your doorstep, metaphorically, is the Page of Wands. Or it can be a youthful person or a new idea, that freshness, fresh idea, a fertile idea that enables you to solve or tackle a situation that's felt stagnant and unmovable. Number 4. I think I saw somebody asking for 4 there, did I? Yes, Aussie Mel, I think. Yes. Ooh, Aussie Mel, you've got the Lovers today. So the Lovers can literally mean romance. It can mean a new romance. It can also mean temptation. So if you're in an existing romance, it can mean having your head turned by somebody else. Or it can mean a new phase of an old relationship. So feeling ignited romantically again about somebody that you're already connected with. Or it can mean actually making a choice in a relationship, making a choice about a relationship. And if you look at the Lovers card, these two people are under the gaze of an angel here. So they're looked after. So their choices and decisions are looked after. But they're basically, there's a cloud between them and the angel. And what that means is that they feel a bit confused and they can't see the way forward. So they can't see that divine guidance. They're sort of poking around in the dark. They're not quite sure which way to go. So when you get this card, if it's not associated with the literal relationship, if it's not like, oh wow, you're going to be in this relationship today, or this is going to happen, sometimes it can be that you're feeling like your hands are a little bit tied, and it's always this choosing between two options. And I think that ties to traditionally a lot of choices in relationships come down to a choice between two people, don't they? There's often that like love triangle thing where somebody's always choosing between one or the other. So that's all associated with this card, the Lovers. It's an interesting one, but I love the interpretation. If you're single, yeah, get the Lovers card, and it's bringing that positive romantic energy into your life and the potential for a new relationship, or the potential for the new stage of a relationship with a person. Now, when we say relationships, we always think about the person that we're romantically involved with, don't we? But we have to remember as well that relationships aren't just about intimate relationships. They're also about relationships with our friends, our family, even ourselves. And this card, you often see this card when it's indicating a change in a relationship or a choice in a relationship with somebody else who's close to you, potentially a family member. So there you go. I've given you quite a few explanations for this card. All of them are great. All of them are about choice, and all of them, we've got an angel here as well. And remember, the one things that angels don't have that humans do is free will. And that's why this is sort of highlighted on this card, because it's letting you know that everything that you do, sometimes it doesn't feel like it, does it? Sometimes we do feel like our hands are tied and we're forced to make decisions that we'd rather not make. But we do, at the end of the day, as creations, we have free will. So whatever choice you have, whether it's to do with a relationship or not, the choice is yours alone to make. You have the free will, but you are being divinely guided, so you are being overlooked. And this is an important decision, because this is a major arcana card. It's not just a light, like, what should I have for breakfast this morning? Should I have milk or cream in my coffee? This is like a major decision that's on the cards, literally, for you. Number three, you've got the World, another major arcana card. We've had the World, Lovers, the Emperor, and Temperance already this morning. So things are looking like there's some massive life shifts going along, because your major cards, there's only 21 major cards in your deck of 78. So you work out the odds, if you can do maths, I can't, of like you getting 1, 2, 3, 4 cards out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 cards out of 6 have been major. So to me, that says it's a day when things are going to happen that mean important stuff. But back to number 3 here. You've got the World. The World is about the completion of a cycle. Because the World is card number 21, the Fool is card 0. We start at 0, we end at 21. The World signifies the end of the Fool's journey, because the Fool makes a journey throughout the deck, and he comes and he makes decisions with the Lovers and things like that. So when he comes to the end of the journey, it's the end of a cycle. So this card comes out often when somebody is ending a cycle. Now, without drawing another card, it's impossible to say whether that is a relationship, whether it's something to do with work, whether it's something to do with a stage of life, because sometimes we go through stages of life and we think, right, okay, I'm not going to go back to that. I've completed that. I'm putting that to bed. I'm ready for the next challenge. Because the World is much like that. So you see, the person on there is dancing. They're celebrating that they have finished. But it also means that they go right back to the beginning, right back to being the Fool, and they start on a new journey. So as much as it is one door closing, because it's the end of a cycle, it is also another door opening. So it's a card of new beginnings as much as it is of endings. So watch out with this energy from number 3 for the new things that are being put in front of you now. It's a card that invites you to choose your next mission, to choose your next adventure, to give yourself credit for the things that you've achieved, for what you've actually finished. Even if you've been doing a project and it didn't finish, the actual giving up of it is the completion, because sometimes we just can't flog a dead horse any longer. Sometimes you just have to get rid of stuff, and you just have to draw a line and go, line in the sand, not going back to that. Let's just leave that broken on the floor where it is and move on. And that in itself is an ending. And then the world says, right, what next? What are we going to tackle next? Where are we going with this next? So I love this card. It's a really, really positive card. It's a really positive card for new beginnings. And it's talking about success as well, because this is the successful completion of whatever it was that was going on in your life. And also the auspicious starting of a new cycle. So it's a lucky time to start a new project as well. Number two, you've got the Ace of Swords reversed. This card can feel like things are there's obstacles being put in your way. It feels like something that you'd started, something that you felt committed about, something that you felt you were going to get off the ground really easily. There's been a few stumbling blocks. So it feels like you've maybe lost interest, or the energy's gone out of the situation, or what you saw quite clearly. So you had like quite a lot of mental clarity about something, and you were sure you'd seen the truth of the matter. Maybe now it feels a bit clouded. And that's like, you see the hand here comes out of the clouds of confusion. So when that's upright, it's like, yay, I am cutting through the clouds of confusion and I shall go forward. And when it's upside down, it's like, yeah, well, I thought I was going in the right direction, but hang on, I'm having a bit of a wobble here and I'm not quite sure. This can also be a card that talks about infertility. Now, the tarot can be quite literal. If you see something phallic like this, or the Ace of Wands, when it's this way up, it's like fertile, it's phallic. When it's this way up, it can be infertile. So, and that ties in with that. Fertility is not just about making children, is it? It's about having ideas and moving forward and progress. So when this is upside down, it's like that fertility has been removed. So the soil is no longer fertile for creating this new idea and moving forward. So what this card invites you to do, the message of this card, in order for your energy to return to, I'm going to tackle this and move forward upright, is to rest. Okay, so if it's at all possible for you, you need to draw your energy back a little bit, and you need to rest on your laurels, and you need to spend a little bit of time, rather than acting, doing sort of that recapping, revisiting, sort of analysing what you've done, what's gone right, what hasn't, rather than pushing forward. So if you've got this card today, try not to be that pushing forward, sword in hand person today. Try to be the sitting back, sword in hilt. Is it a hilt that you put a sword in? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not. The hilt's the top of it. What do you, scabbard? Is it a scabbard? Something, a sword box, something that you put your sword in. Whatever that is, then put your sword away and just try to be the passive person today rather than the active person. I'm just reading what Mandy's written here about. Ah, right, I see. Are we talking about grounding here? I think so, yeah. Good advice there, Mandy. Yes, right. Number 10. Number 10. I haven't seen this card for a while. You've got the 10 of Wands reversed. So the 10 of Wands is a card of burdens. When it's up this way, you're carrying too many burdens and you're almost buckling under the weight of them. However, when it's up this way, you're being asked to put these burdens down. So you're being told you have no reason to carry these anymore. You have done what you needed to do. You have taken the burden from somebody else. You have carried them, or you have carried something for somebody for enough time, and it's time for you to put that down and move on. It's time for you to release yourself from the bonds of responsibility. It's time for you to accept that you have a life to be moving on with, and some things have to be put down and left behind. Now, also with this card, the great thing about this card is there's a mountain and a castle in the background, and it means that you are always heading in the direction of the mountain, which is a challenge, but when you get to the top, you have the perfect view, and it enables you to look with hindsight at what's been happening. So you're heading towards that mountain, struggling up it, and when you get there, you'll be able to look and go, now I see what was going on here. So it's that sort of feeling. And because the castle is on top of the mountain, it's like that feeling of going home. So it's like you're coming to the culmination of this part where you've had a bit of life where you've had to struggle, you've had to carry things, and often the 10 of Wands is carrying energetic burdens from somebody else. So you're almost like carrying them as well on your shoulder. You're supporting them. And when this card is reversed, it's like, get them put down now. Just gently put your burdens down and move on without them, because it's time for you to look after yourself and to make it to this mountain, to climb to the top of your challenge, to reside in the castle of your home, and then you'll be able to look at what you've achieved and to look back on the problems that these burdens caused with clear sight. So being able to see why you had to do that, what the benefit was, but what the detriment was to you as well. But also it's a card that sometimes you get this when somebody's putting a lot on you, somebody's expecting you to carry them, or somebody's wanting you to sort things out for them when really they need to start doing it for themselves. So I often see this card. If this card, you get this card with, for example, the Empress, which is a card that's very much about motherhood, and then you get this card, it's like, cut the apron strings. You know, you're doing too much for them kids. They're grown up and they can take on their own problems. So it's that kind of energy. It's that let people tackle their own problems for a while because you have to look after yourself. And that's card number 1. Number 12. Number 12, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So this can be, it can feel like you're a bit bored, and it feels like life might feel like it's not moving very quickly at the moment. Can feel the word is dull. The word is uninspired. It can feel like something that you were quite excited about, or a project that you're involved in seems to have stalled, or you've lost interest in it, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Now, this knight, the Knight of Pentacles, is, I think he's the only knight of the tarot deck who's actually just stood still on his horse, because most of the knights are either trotting in or they're galloping in, and that's about movement. And knights are usually about events moving in quickly. But the Knight of Pentacles, he's a really slow knight. He's basically just trundled in, so it's an event that's moving in slowly. But when he's reversed, it becomes even more pronounced that he's like, his horse is dragging its hooves. Okay, he's like really having to sort of cajole his horse to move forward, and it's not really happening. So what could be stability and slow progress in this way up becomes stagnation and dullness in this way up. So this is a card that invites you to examine your life and look at where that stagnation and dull parts are, and get rid of them, or reignite them. Decide if you need them dragging you down, or are there things that can be put away for now? Like sometimes when again, I'm so sorry to make this a me train, but I'm just using personal examples just to try and illustrate things here. So if I'm doing a painting, sometimes I'll go on and on with it and it'll just be stuck, and I'll do something and it'll look crap, then I'll do something else, it'll still look crap, and I'll do something else and it'll just go backwards and forwards, and it's not progressing. Hi Shazzy from Australia. It's like it's not progressing further, and it's that stagnant feeling. So what I do is I just take it down from this easel and I put it away, or I turn its back and I put it on the other side of the studio and ignore it. And then you go back to it at a different time with different energy, and you just do something and you're like, that's it. That's what needed to happen to it. So this card, I'm relating that experience to this sort of overall life experience of this card at the moment in this aspect. It's this feeling that put something down and go back to it at another point, because it feels like it's stagnant, it's dull. Whatever energy you're putting into it at the moment isn't helping it move forward. All it's doing is adding to the sort of backlog of energy. It's adding to it all being stuck, and there's no sort of path for it to go forward. So if that's your card today, it's not a bad card. It's just, this is the great thing with tarot. There's no like negative, positive. Each card has got shadow and light, it's got negative, it's got positive, and every negative has a lesson and advice. And the advice of this, it's not negative. It's like, look around, put something down. If it's not working out for you now, go back to it. Take your energy and put it somewhere else, because our energy is precious and we've only got so much of it, and there's only so many hours in the day. And if you're, again, to use that expression, flogging a dead horse with something and it's not moving forward, then put that energy into something that will move for you. Put this on the back burner and go back to it another time. Number 11, you've got the King of Pentacles. How wonderful. The King of Pentacles is a strong economic power. It is reaping a good harvest. It is being in control of finances. If you are waiting for good morning, Julesy Bob. If you are waiting for news about finances, expect it to be very positive today. Good morning, Brittany. If you are if you're being asked to take charge of something financially or at work, or if you're in a position of power and you're being put in on the spot and asked to make decisions today, then this is a card that says you're going to find that really, really easy, because it's a card of success. The King of Pentacles is grounded. He is somebody who's reliable. King of Pentacles is earth, and that is practicalness. That is getting the job done. That is not being driven by flights of fantasy, or not being too impulsive. It's not being too emotional like Cups and thinking, oh, I don't know whether I should do this or not. What's such and such going to think if I do this? It's like being direct, knowing what needs done, getting it done and doing it well. So this is the King of Pentacles. If you are the King of Pentacles today, enjoy this energy of leadership and this ability to make things work, make things happen. Or again, remember, one card reading, you can never be entirely sure if this is you or somebody you will encounter. This could also be somebody who you encounter today. This could be particularly the case if you were going to, again, such a literal example, but if you were going to see a financial advisor and they had some really good advice, they could be your King of Pentacles, because it's this man who's this authoritarian, or woman, just masculine energy, authoritarian, good with money, good at making things happen, grounded, practical. So look out for this person today, whether that's you, whether it's somebody else. One more thing I should say about court cards. I have said this before, I know. They can be you, they can be somebody else, but they can also, just to add another bit of confusion in there, they can also be a situation. So it can be a situation of mastery of a financial or practical situation. But whatever this card is for you today, it's very positive. It's somebody or something that you're in charge of, and it's like that success on a material level. So enjoy that card today and let me know how that resonates with you. I'm not going to finish on 9 again. I'm going to go to 9 first here. Number 9. Okay, number 9. You've got the Two of Wands reversed. So the Two of Wands reversed can feel like there was a plan that you'd made to move forward. So you thought perhaps you had an opportunity to progress or start something new. And it feels like your plans have been scuppered a bit. It feels like you now feel a bit stuck, or there's a lack of vision, or something that you'd planned to do new, a new opportunity, was suddenly like the rug was pulled from under your feet, or somebody backed out of something. A partnership perhaps broke down, where, and I'm not thinking so much a partnership on a romantic level. I'm thinking more about people that get things done together, like people at work, people that have projects together, tasks together, a meeting of energies in order to achieve something. And it feels like that could have come a cropper. So you see this, when this card is this way up, this guy has the world in his hands. He has the world is his oyster. He's looking out over the horizon at these new opportunities. When it's this way up, it's like these new opportunities have sort of fallen by the wayside, and he's feeling a lack of vision and lack of clarity, and like things have been a bit of a waste of time recently. And why did I start that when it was going to not happen, and it's all gone wrong, and why did I bother? And what a waste of my energy that was to do that. So that's the kind of thought process that you could be having if you're under the influence of this card. And it's about that feeling lack of vision, being stuck. It can also mean that if you've had an opportunity coming to you from overseas, that might have a sticking point as well. So it could be that something is withdrawn, and offer from overseas can be withdrawn under the influence of this card. It could be that dealings with somebody who is in a different country could go awry, so they might go slightly wrong. But the good news is, remember, when a card is upside down like this one, it's a blockage of the full energy, and the 2 is the beginning of something. So it's not like something has gone down loads and you've put loads and loads and loads of work into something and it's suddenly gone wrong. This is like something is in the planning stages, and it just feels like it needs a bit of tweaking in order for it to return to that, wow, this is a new opportunity. I'm going to go down this path. I'm going to do this. This is going to work out. All this news from overseas, this is all working lovely. This is fine. It just needs a bit of tweaking. So the message from the card would be, all right, so can you today think about what has become a little bit stuck. Think about what has gone a little bit off course to do with a new project, a new plan, or something with a link overseas. Okay. What has become stuck there? What has gone wrong? What can you do to fix it and return it to this energy? But I think this is a card that says, don't panic too much about it, because it is a temporary obstacle. It's something that you are going to overcome. It's just, that's the word for it, teething problems. It's teething problems with things, this card, very much so. And it just means there's a little bit of a fluctuation in your energy and commitment to achieve that goal, but that will return to you, and you will be feeling really positive about that again. Right, so that was number 9. Number 8, I'm going to finish on this morning. Number 8 is an 8 as well. I love it when that happens. So number 8, the 8 of Cups. I like this card, and even though people see it as a negative card, I see it as a positive, and here's why. The 8 of Cups is about realizing that something isn't for you and leaving it. You see this person on the card here. He's leaving his cups behind, so he's leaving something emotional behind. They're still upright, so he hasn't booted them all over. He hasn't sort of caused major catastrophe and ran off. He's left them where they are. He's just decided that they're not for him. And he's heading for the mountains. And he's heading for a new sort of horizon, a new sun, and a new land. So it's like this person decides, okay, I don't care how far I am in this relationship or how far I have committed into this situation, because we're in 8, we're quite a long way into the cycle of something. I don't care how much I've put into this. This isn't for me. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to walk away. And I love that, because it's so easy. You know, when you get committed to something, don't you? And it doesn't have to be a relationship. You get I get committed to series on Netflix where they're absolutely rubbish, but I've like watched so much of it that you're like, I'm going to see it through. I'm going to watch it to the end, even though it's absolutely rubbish and you've got no reason to sit watching it. You're like committed, aren't you? So you're sitting there thinking, this is awful, but I'm going to see it through to the end. Well, this is the card of the person that gets up, picks up the remote control and goes, this is awful, good night. Yeah. And it's better, isn't it, to do that? It's better to cut that off and to walk away. But obviously that's very flippant. This is about emotions. This isn't about Netflix. This is about something that you feel strongly about. Something could be a relationship, often is about a relationship. This is a card that comes up when somebody's with somebody and they've tried and they've tried and they've tried and they love them and they've tried, but this person isn't changing. And eventually they go, do you know what? I've woken up. I'm off. You're not going to change. I need to leave. I've got better things to do and I'm going to better places than this. And off they go. And because we've got this person walking off to these mountains, it's challenging. It's hard to walk away. But when you get to the top of those mountains, remember, just like our 10 of Wands here, the mountain in the background. When you climb to the top of a mountain, it's getting to the top of a challenge. Then you're able to turn around and see how far you've come and what it is, the truth of the situation that you left behind, because everything's clearer from the top, isn't it, above the clouds. So if you have this card today, I love this card because it's new starts. It's having that bravery, that courage to go, this ain't for me anymore. I'm out of here. Whatever it is, starting afresh and heading towards the mountains and a new life. So I think that's a fabulous card to finish on. So enjoy that, number 10. What was number 10? Yes, I think that was number 10 we finished on. Right, so I'm just having a quick peruse of the chat here to see if I've got any questions. Aussie Mel, when reading the daily star signs, does it matter that I'm in Australia? Do we read the day before or after? I don't know. I've actually never thought about that. I tell you what, Aussie Mel, I do know that because I'm a pagan and I celebrate the Wheel of the Year, like a Wiccan Wheel of the Year, so Ostara and Beltane and Litha and things like that, those are the opposite way around. So like Ostara, which is a spring festival, would be in your opposite. So it would be 6 months later in the southern hemisphere. So when reading the day starts, I don't think it does matter, to be honest. Does anybody else in the chat know that for sure? Because isn't it, it's really strange. I've never actually thought about that. I don't think it matters. Because I think, right, when you work out what your in fact, no, like think about it, right? When you work out what your birth sign is, that's worked out by your time, date, and place of birth. So that's wherever you are, south or northern hemisphere, that's your star sign, your sun sign, and your ascending and your rising, your rising sign and your nodes and things like that, and your moon sign are all worked out from the precise place that you're born. So when you're reading signs, I'm guessing as long as you're reading in a magazine that's written in the southern hemisphere, then that's relevant. If you're reading from the northern hemisphere, then perhaps that is going to cause a problem, isn't it? Because it's a different. Yeah, I think, right, I'm going to go with that, Aussie Mel. I'm going to go with the fact it makes no difference to your actual birth chart itself. But if you're reading, what is it called when it's there's two different branches of astrology. There's many, but one of them is about prediction based on your birth chart, and then there's the one that says every day and how things affect you, isn't there? So I think if you're actually reading something that's written in the northern hemisphere on a daily prediction basis, I think that could be affected. I am going to look into that and I will tell you tomorrow for sure. But I think, I think Helene, it's like horoscope, but it's something, it's got a different name. I can't think what it is, but I will actually look into that and give you a definitive answer, Aussie Mel, tomorrow. But I think I've got it sort of right there, but it's a bit sort of confused as well, isn't it? So I would like to have given you a much plainer answer there. Are there any other questions? Easier questions. I don't mean that bad, Aussie Bell. It's always good to get questions you don't know, because then you can go and find out. And it's just like, I had actually looked into it when it comes to the Wheel of the Year for Wiccan stuff, for witchcraft stuff, because it was relevant to me at the time to know, but I haven't actually looked into the astrology side of it. All right, I can't see any more QQQs. I think I have got no questions. Okay. Right, brilliant. Aussie Mel, I shall look into that this afternoon and I shall give you an answer tomorrow. So hopefully you'll be back on tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Enjoy the energies today. Seems like we've got a lot of major arcana, so a lot of big influences going on. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Please don't forget to share the stream, and especially with friends who you think might enjoy it. And I shall see you tomorrow. Much love to you all. Thank you for being here and stay weird.